Hi, everybody. So I'm Matthew Young. I'm a fourth semester medical student here at Saba University School of Medicine. And I'm just doing this live event to hopefully answer any questions and to tell you how it's like to be here on Saba, especially here on Saba with a family. As I'm married, I have 3 kids. We're all living here on Saba. So so that's why I'm doing this event, and hopefully some of you will find this helpful. And if you have any questions, just message those. If I can answer those questions, I will answer those. So, but first I'm going to tell you about my background. So I am from Boise, Idaho. I went to school to college at Brigham Young University in Idaho, and that's where I met my wife, had our first kid there. And after I graduated from there, I went to Boise, started working, and we had, our 2 other kids. When I started school, I was always kind of sure that I wanted to go into medicine. And so that's always been my goal. And Saba University School of Medicine has made that possible. As I applied to other medical schools, and they are competitive, and I wasn't able to get into where I was applying to. And I some family members said, "Oh, well, why don't you go to Caribbean medical school?" I was like, "I don't know, Caribbean medical school." And then we actually had a good friend who went to a Caribbean medical school, and they were doing their residency actually in Boise. So we talked to them, and so I was like, "All right, well, that could be a possibility. Let's see if we can do that." So how I found out about Saba University School of Medicine was I just Googled the top Caribbean medical schools. And Saba was always, third or fourth on the top of the list. They always had good, the stats were excellent. I did some research. I looked at great first time USMLE pass rate. And so I was like, okay. But I looked at the other medical schools too. And I told my wife, I was like, okay, these are the schools that I've kind of looked at. I want you to look at them and see which one you want us to apply to and try to get in. So my wife did lots of research. She asked people who'd gone to the different schools, through Facebook. She did research about the island, what it's like, what the islands are like that we're looking at the schools. And she said, Saba is where we need to go. It's safe. At least this is what people were telling us. It's safe. And the school is excellent. And so I was like, okay. And so Saba was the only Caribbean medical school that I did apply to. And then I got in, and now we're out here. And so in my family, they love it here on Saba. So they even went home about a month ago, and they went home to visit, family and stuff. I stayed here and studied, but they were gone for a month, and they could not wait to come back. Because Saba, it's a small island. People know each other. Everyone, is nice to each other. They know who you are. They know, they're so willing to help. And it's always warm here. My kids wake up, they go outside, they play outside. They love it here on Saba. And yeah, and so my family loves it here. There's lots of things they can do. So my wife doesn't work. If your wife does, or if your spouse wants to work, there's plenty of opportunities for jobs. There's several daycares or after school programs that the kids can go to, and the kids can go to school. So they start school, I think, when they're 4 years old. So my daughter actually went to school for a little while. She's 5 right now. So she was 4 when we first came out here. She loved the school. All the other kids that were in her class, she had wonderful teachers. And yeah, my family loves it here. They get rides to go to play in the water at the beach, or go to the many different parks that they have here on Saba. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what we're gonna do when we go back home to the States where it's cold and we can't do that. And then as far as food goes, there's several different grocery stores to choose from for food. And we don't have a car, so I know there are lots of other students or families that do have cars. But my wife, she gets a ride to the grocery store, and oftentimes she'll take the kids. And then all you have to do is you have to get $60 worth of groceries, which for a family of five is not very difficult. And then they give you a free ride back to your house with the groceries. And someone helps bring in the groceries. And so there's no problem getting food or having food in the house. And then there's lots of wonderful restaurants. And my wife and I love going out to the different restaurants and trying the food that they have there. Always delicious, always wonderful. Um, and so when we got accepted into Saba, to Saba University School of Medicine, one concern we had was the housing, because we couldn't come out here to look at the different houses beforehand and say, all right, this is where we want to live. And so it was a concern for us, but Saba makes it really easy to find housing. There's a great administrative person who keeps a list of all the updated housing information. She knows where you can get housing, who you can get it from. She knows the cost, the bedrooms, how many bathrooms there are. And she was very helpful when we said, we have three little kids. She said, okay, these are the best houses for you. We got the contact information. She gave us the contact information. We got in touch with the owners of the house, and they were very happy to work with us. So we didn't see the house before we came here, but we didn't need to. It was great. It was, when we got our luggage off, and we took a taxi to our house, we walked in and put it down, and it was great. And so then with any other questions that I did have, Saba's got a great mentor program. So they gave me a mentor before I even came out here. And they actually gave me someone who also had a few kids and was living out here and going to school with their spouse and kids. And he was able to answer any question I had. And then my wife contacted his wife, and she answered any questions she had. Everyone's really helpful. Everyone wants to help and is more than happy to help and very knowledgeable. And so then starting first semester, it's medical school. I don't know what to do. It's a whole new process and a new adventure. And so we didn't know how it was going to be like, but the first day there's orientation. They told us all the classes we were going to have, what the classes are like. It was very helpful. So the first day I went into class, I kind of knew what was already going on before even class started. And so I was able to just hit the ground running. And something that helped my wife and I think, or helped me with the whole medical school thing, is that we came up with a plan. Before we got out here, my wife and I, we sat down and said, okay, we're going to medical school. This is what we kind of expect it's going to be like. This is what we're going to do so that I can succeed. And we came up a plan where, and that's how I'm going through school right now, is that same plan that we started. So basically Monday through Friday, the school days, I get up, I walk to school. We live close enough where we can walk. If you get a house that's further away, the school has a busing system, so the bus can come pick you up and bring you to school. A lot of students do that. And so I'm able to walk to school. So I get to school, I start studying, I study for a while, then class starts, we go into class, and I like going to class. I like the teachers, I like the students. The students are wonderful. Since day one, I thought, because as I was starting the school as a married student, and I had my family here, and I wasn't, I didn't live in the dorms before, I felt like perhaps, I wouldn't be able to develop a friendship with some of the students in my class, but I did. The class is so unified, all the students, and even amongst different semesters, not just my semester, the students that I see every day, all day in my classes. And everyone's really helpful to each other. Where we have this Facebook group where if someone finds a resource that's really helpful in explaining a certain topic, we send that into the Facebook group and ask or tell about that, and then anyone can ask questions. Say, could someone explain this to me, or anything. And so when I get to class, I go into class, I see everyone I know, all my friends, and the teachers are really nice, really wonderful teachers. You know, especially going into first semester, they knew exactly how to teach you, what to teach you, and what they needed to do to make you learn the material so you could succeed in the class. And I really feel like since first semester, second semester, third semester, now fourth semester, they have been teaching me the things that I need to know to do well on the USMLE step one so that I can get a good residency and go into class and do well in my class. And so, yeah, then I go to school. And then what I do is after school, I go home and I spend a little bit of time, not very much time with my family. I have dinner with them. And then um, they go down for bed, but then I just study, and I study for several more hours after dinner. And then that's how my day today is, Monday through Friday. Then on Saturday, just depending on the week, sometimes I'll get up and I'll maybe do some dishes or some laundry. But then basically Saturday all day is focused on studying the stuff that we went over this last week, preparing for the upcoming week. And then Sunday is a day that I've chosen to spend time with my family. So Sundays I don't study, I spend that time with my family, and it works for me. The study time that I get during the week, Monday through Saturday, is enough time for me, and then Sundays I can spend time with my family, which is the most important thing to me. But I'm able to get enough studying done, learn enough of the material to do well in my classes, studying like that and following the plan that we had going into to starting medical school. And then something I just want to mention about Saba is one of the reasons that we chose to come here, that my wife really said, let's go to Saba, is because we do have 3 kids, and everywhere online said that Saba is really safe for the family. And it is safe. Um, everyone, I mean, people know who you are. You know, I've had people pick me up and drive me to my house, you know, as everyone's really nice. And if they see you walking, they'll oftentimes stop and say, hey, do you need a ride to where you're going? And they'll give you rides. And they say, oh, I know you're the one with the wife and the 3 kids. I'm like, yeah, yeah. And they're like, oh, I've met your wife or your 3 kids, or I've seen them around town. And one time even my mother-in-law was visiting, and she took the kids on a walk, and we had someone come by and say, hey, I saw your kids with someone I didn't recognize. Is that someone you know? And we're like, yeah, yeah, it's our mother-in-law. And so everyone, they're very concerned about you and what's going on in your life. And it's very comforting to know that everyone, you know, they know who you are, and they're willing to reach out and help you in any way that they can. And so the island's really safe. I have no concern, you know, with my wife taking the 3 kids anywhere, you know, with our oldest being 5 and our youngest now 2. She was 1 when we started. And so, yeah, that's one reason we chose to come here, and it definitely lived up to its potential of being safe, of what people said, that it was a very safe island. It indeed is. So with first semester, I kind of talked about really wonderful teachers. And second, third, and fourth semester, you know, each semester is a little bit different. You know, you have different classes, but every semester has great teachers teaching the materials that they love to teach, teaching the materials that they know that they can teach you well, so that you learn the stuff that you need to. So let's see. So I'm trying to think of any other things that I wished I would have known coming out here. And the only thing I can think of is that I'm really glad that I chose to come here to Saba University School of Medicine. So I think, if I had the choice, if I could go back, over a year ago, I would still make the same decision to come here to Saba. Saba, it prepares you, the school prepares you, the school and the teachers, they prepare you to do well on the USMLE Step 1. You can look at the stats online and you can see that it actually does prepare you very well. The people who come through here and go and take the USMLE Step 1 do very well and succeed, on that they can get residencies and become great physicians. And I didn't have that opportunity in the States to do that. And I'm really glad that Saba has given me the chance to become a doctor, something that I've want to become for a long time, and especially to be able to bring my family here to the island and live this island life going to Saba where they're happy and where I can study hard to do well in school. So if you have any questions, feel free to send those in. If I can't answer those, someone can get on and answer those for you. But I would recommend to anyone, single or married, with family or not, to come to Saba University School of Medicine because it is a great school and I've enjoyed the 4 semesters that I've been here. And I know I'll enjoy my next semester, my last semester here, and then the rotations in the States, and then wherever I get residency. So, okay. Well, thank you everyone for watching. And again, if you have any questions, just post those. Someone will get on and answer those if I'm not able to do that. And yeah, hopefully I hope this video was helpful in helping you make a decision on which medical school you could go to or you should go to. Thanks.